Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Kyle Wiley. Welcome to the Kern High Network. We're live, kernhighnetwork.com, live from Shafter. We've been out at Shafter a lot this year. With me tonight is a very special guest. He's going to be one of our new play-by-play guys throughout the Kern High Network going into the winter. You helped us out in the fall. You were at a great Independent Stockdale game, and that one came down to the wire, and you had a great call on that as well. This is Erik Hudgens is joining us live tonight, Kern High Network. He's actually going to be doing play-by-play tonight. I wanted to introduce him. He's going to be doing a lot of soccer for us. He's going to be doing some basketball as we kind of get going, as we grow this out. But Rick, real excited to have you here tonight, be a part of the Kern High Network team. You've done a lot of great work, a lot of experience in the community, from the Bakersfield Jam to a lot of different things. Excited to have your experience, excited to have your voice as part of the Kern High Network.
Well, Kyle, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity. Looking forward to covering these kids. You know, I teach high school. Been in the Kern High School District 18 years, so very familiar with all the schools, very familiar with a lot of the coaches as well in various sports, and really looking forward to tonight's game here at the Shafter Kiwanis Tournament. Kern Valley rolling in. Kern Valley Broncos looking for their first win tonight at 0-6.
We got to clarify it before we move on. It's actually the Bronx, and I've gotten corrected on that a lot of time. We cannot call them the Broncos. They are the Bronx. It's actually on their school medallion, their logo that's on there. Home of the Bronx. So for all of you in the Lake Isabella, Kernville area, we're going to correct it right now and call it the Bronx, so we make sure we have it. The Bronx come in. We're excited, as you talked about. Sometimes Kern Valley may not get that love that we normally have, because they're about an hour and a half away from it. But we want to make sure they're still part of the Kern High School District. A lot of people may not know that, but they definitely are. They're going to be playing a Shafter team to look at. My man, you're on it right now. You're going to be running the show right now. I'm going to kind of give my 2 cents. If I talk too much, you can tell me to be quiet, but we'll go on from there. But nonetheless, Erik Hudgens on the play-by-play. I'm Kyle Wiley. We got Kevin Willie that is on the camera. We also got Miguel Garcia, the one and only, that is taking pictures tonight and getting it going. So, Rick, up to you. We got 45 seconds till tip-off.
Sounds good. So tonight it'll be the Kern Valley Bronx, and my apologies for all of those in the Lake Isabella area. So the Kern Valley Bronx looking for their first win, a very young team. And as their head coach said, Brian Christensen, very young team this year, but the players are working very hard to gel as a team and improve. And really, when you take a look at this Kern Valley team, one of their players who really epitomizes the Kern Valley Bronx is Aaron Grimsby. Leader on the team, 12 points per game, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, 5'11" senior, a guy certainly to be watching for here tonight. And on the other side, the Shafter Generals 4 up and 3 down, coming off a win, 54-49, hard-fought win against Miramonte a couple of nights ago. And they've got a few players, but one player in particular who is going to be tough to stop at 15 points a game and shooting 33% beyond the arc is Jose Maldonado, number 22. He's a senior. He'll be playing guard and forward. And also Josh Mejia, number 12, the senior guard, just under 15 points a game. And he is going to be tough to stop for this young Kern Valley Bronx team as well.
Well, you know, you look at Kern Valley, you talked about Aaron Grimsby. We covered him this year in football as they played Rosamond. He had their 2 lone touchdowns in there. Very scrappy, very tough player. But you look at Shafter, very senior heavy. Coach Waltrip's got to really appreciate that.
Yeah, great point. Head coach Brian Christensen from the Kern Valley Bronx. Head coach Jeff Waltrip for the Shafter Generals. So it's a home of the Generals. It's a Shafter Kiwanis tournament opening night, and Shafter with the home game. Shafter in the half-court set. Number 14, Steven Aya. Kick out, 3 on the way. They've got to watch that young man, number 22, Jose Maldonado. He's already made 15 triples this year, now his 16th. Nearly 35% beyond the arc. One of the best three-point shooters in Division III in the Central Section. Someone that Kern Valley is going to have to get an extra man on
And, you know, Kern Valley dropped back in that 2-3 zone right there, which is a shooter's paradise sometimes. But if you run it like Boeheim at Syracuse, they're very collapsing on that. So see how hard they work.
Yeah, it certainly helps that Boeheim has those long
yeah.
lean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's Shafter in the half-court set. Number 4, Ramirez. Back in the corner, 3 on the way again, and Maldonado off the mark that time. Ramirez the rebound. He'll kick it out to Mejia. Down low, nice interior pass from Anaya to number 4, Tim Ramirez, for the easy deuce, and an early 5-0 lead here in the opening quarter for the Shafter Generals. Shafter Generals working right to left, working left to right in their home whites with blue and gold trim, and the Kern Valley Broncs in their navy blue with gold trim. They are working right to left. Inside, high post, kick out, ball fake, pull up. Nice little jumper, but couldn't get it to drop, and now back the other way comes Kern Valley.
You know, Kern Valley's they're playing the quick pass game right here. They are a little outmatched size-wise against Shafter, but they're going to have to try and keep this possession, keep the ball, not turn it over.
Here's Wenzel driving in, gives it up. Barton loses the handle, and back comes Shafter the other way at 5:40 to go. Anaya will set things up. Maldonado, three-point shooter, swings from left to right to the other corner. Shot taken by number 12 won't go down for Jose Mejia. Here comes Kern Valley the other way. Grimsby set things up, picked up his dribble, so he had to get rid of it. 3 on the way, a long ball. 3/4 down, wouldn't drop. Nice interior rebound, but the stick back no good by Anthony Barton. And Shafter quickly back the other way. Nice feed into the post and an easy deuce for number 33, Erik Caballero. It's Erik Caballero, 33, Jose Maldonado, 22, number 14, Steve Anaya, number 4, Tim Ramirez, and number 12, Josh Mejia, starting 5 for Shafter. For Kern Valley, number 34, Anthony Barton, he will take a seat, as well as number 42, Dakota Smith. And now we have a timeout. Your thoughts so far here? 7-0, 4:49. You mentioned 2 different styles of play here.
Well, I think Kern Valley has to drop back and slow the game down as quickly as they can. I can tell Shafter, they're unconscious shooting the ball right there. Kern Valley has to rely on some of that grittiness and toughness that they have. You know, they've been to the Valley Championship, I believe, in D5 3 out of the last 4 years. But it looks like they don't have that talent. A name that's synonymous with Kern Valley the last few years, Dalton Gallis, is just, he was do-it-all Captain America for Kern Valley, if you want to say. I mean, as a quarterback, and then he went on and started at BC, and he was a baseball player, could throw 88 miles an hour, maybe even a little bit more. They don't seem to have that type of talent, but they got to play with that Kern Valley grittiness and toughness as well.
Absolutely. Out of the timeout, here's Shafter setting up against that 2-3 zone. High post. Back to Anaya, kick out, drive and dish. Shafter likes to do that against the zone, looking for those perimeter shooters.
And especially with those, a lot of threes coming up there, you have to box out and you have to rebound. Kern Valley has to do that. There's going to be a lot of long rebounds, so their guards have to take part in the rebound game, not just their interior presence.
So number 20,
good
Aaron
pass.
Grimsby, running the show. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll still be the Bronx ball. Also in the lineup for Kern Valley, number 32, Caden Preston. Number 25, Micah Wenzel. Number 55, Tahoe Taylor. And number 42, Dakota Smith. Here's Grimsby. Plenty of time to shoot, 18. Ball deflected and last touched by the Bronx. So possession turnover back to Shafter. Shafter averaging 6.7 steals per game. And in the last meeting, coming up with 7 steals against Miramonte.
You know, I talked with Ridgeview head coach Mike Martin about this Shafter team, and he said they are going to surprise a lot of people out there. They shoot the ball really well. They pass the ball, as we can see right here, pretty well to get on there. They're really going to shock a lot of teams. He's like, they're better than you can't count them out. And we can see with their record and Coach Waltrip, who's been around and coach. He was a head coach at Highland for a little while, you know, before he made his way on out to Shafter. He definitely has experience, you know, coaching this game.
At the line, number 4, Tim Ramirez. Shafter actually plays with 2 point guards, number 4, Tim Ramirez, number 14, Steve Anaya. Second free throw forthcoming for Ramirez. Was 1 of 4 from the line in his last game, and 1 of 2 here from the stripe so far tonight as he'll take his seat. And checking into the contest is number 13, Nate Mejia. No relation to Josh Mejia. Last names are spelled differently.
Kern Valley's got to get on the board. A little backcourt right there, just kind of waiting for it to come in there. Maybe that's just kind of the confidence factor that goes in there. We talked about Dalton Gallus. His dad, Bill Gallus, who is a teacher at Kern Valley High School, is on the bench kind of helping Coach Christensen out. So I think what's key is that in this first period, they need to score quickly. Scoring kind of alleviates all the anxiety that comes out of it in a basketball game. So
3-pointer on the way, Jose Maldonado. That rims out. So he's 1 of 3 now from downtown. And Kern Valley will get the ball back.
If you're Kern Valley, you're thankful for these missed 3-pointers right now and hope they don't heat up soon, because you know as well as I know, good shooters are going to keep shooting until they get a rhythm going. So
absolutely. And Maldonado, we mentioned, he is not shy. He will put the 3 ball up all night, especially if he's open. 3-pointer off the mark. Rebound no good, but a foul committed. They were going to get number 55, Tahoe Taylor. And heading the line to shoot 2 will be number 32, Daniel Baca. Baca, the senior center, averaging 2.6 points per game. Coming off a game against Miramonte where he scored 2 points.
You know, one thing that we're seeing, just 2 generations of basketball playing right now. So you look at Kern Valley, a half-court game was when I played and probably when you played, a lot different. And then, you know, with the advent of Steph Curry and the growth of the Golden State Warriors, and even Roy Williams at North Carolina and Kansas to a certain extent, push the ball up as quickly as you can, get as many shots as you can. And it's not just transition offense, it's these transition defenses too that have become very tough.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Good hands by Shafter off the steal. Taking it the whole way is number 13, Nate Mejia. And he scores his first bucket of the night. And it's 12-0 Shafter. A nice drive all the way to the bucket. And taking the hit is number 20, Mr. Bronk. And that is Aaron Grimsby. He'll head the line to shoot 2. 5'11", 175, a senior. Extremely tough kid. First one is too strong off the heel. Second free throw forthcoming. So Kern Valley in the High Desert League Central Section now was pushed up to D4, no longer D5, coming off a tough loss 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
54-38 against Boron. Nate Mejia into the paint. Basket won't go down for 32, Daniel Baca, but he'll go back to the line. Shafter doing a nice job of hitting the man, cutting the basket, and Baca getting the line with another opportunity.
You know, and I got to say this. I'm a football player who played basketball, and I followed the kind of old school Kurt Rambis, Bill Lambier type, where I just couldn't really shoot, couldn't really dribble, but I could box out and do some of those little things to look at. But I kind of tie that in is when your football team has success, it kind of bleeds out onto the hoops court. And with Shafter having so much success this year, it kind of instills that confidence in your other sports because it's that first sport that really builds that culture and gets it going. So
yeah, definitely. Shafter had a great football season. Baca made 1 of 2 on his last trip. Shafter with the ball in the half-court set. Foul is committed by number 55, Tahoe Taylor. That's his second on the ground, so Shafter will inbound underneath their own basket. 2:17 remaining in the opening quarter. 13-1. Opening round of this Shafter Kiwanis tournament, a staple here during December. This tournament's been going on for what seems an eternity.
Yeah.
Here's Grimsby now. Nice pass, nice cut, number 11. Tito misses. And Tito fighting for it. Good effort by Tanner Tito, and Kern Valley will keep the ball.
You know, you got to appreciate that they are outsized underneath, and Kern Valley's done a good job getting those offensive rebounds and hustle plays. Those 50-50 balls, even though it's a travel, that's near and dear to my heart because that was my role on the basketball court. And coaches, and you know it as well as anyone, coaches love that type of play of getting those 50-50 balls on the ground.
Yeah, you know, these Kern Valley kids so resilient, so tough, face so much adversity with the fires.
Yeah.
And some of them, of course, being homeless and just scraping by. But what a tough, resilient, character-built community. And these kids are showing that.
And they bond together. They go through it together as a community should. So really good to see him play today.
Nice pass on the interior. Daniel Baca, another 2-point basket. 15-1. Shafter with that full court press. Pushing it up the other way. Pass inside and won't go down for Thomas Schrody.
They've had their opportunities underneath. They just got to convert those 2- and 3-footers as they get going in there. So
nice cut. Missed shot. And Baca hustling for it. Knocks it off of number 55, Tahoe Taylor. So Shafter will keep it with 54 ticks remaining in the opening quarter. 14-point advantage for the Generals. Some other really tough teams in this tournament. West High is going to be a difficult task for anyone this year, playing really strong.
And I'll say this, a much improved Foothill team is also playing really well. They're out there. And South High is always scrappy too. They pulled one out against McFarland, but you know, a lot of good athletic teams in this tournament.
3 ball on the way from the southpaw. Number 25, Micah Wenzel. Lid on the basket right now for Kern Valley, but with the steal here, they come the other way. Pushing it up. Here's number 21, Peter Morkey. Tito swinging around. There's Wenzel, the 3-point man. That one won't go down, but Tito able to track down the loose ball. Into the paint. Turnaround jumper from the elbow, and sticking it is Peter Morkey to win the first quarter. So Peter Morkey with the 2-point field goal to end the quarter. 8 minutes gone. Shafter with the 15-3 lead.
That was a nice little jump shot right there. Peter Morkey, he's kind of crafty. He's got some interesting talent where he can dribble the ball a little bit, set up his opponents and all that. I mean, set up his teammates. So he does a really good job with that. So Peter Morkey with a nice little jump shot. This is a little plug for me, and I can say right now, make sure you turn into Twitter at KHSD Athletics or on Facebook, Kern I Network, to look at some of these plays throughout the night as you look at. Like I'm going to put the Morkey jump shot that he just had right now for the Bronx. So I want to capture those memories for all the kids when they look at them and go on that. It's a big part of the platform of the Kern I Network, which we try to promote.
Yeah, and the Kern High Network fans, for those of you who may be tuning in for the first time, the Kern High School District bringing this to Kern County for these players, for the Kern High School District. You'll see players not only in Kern County, you'll see players in preseason from the Central Valley. You'll see them in the playoffs, the Central section. This is what it's all about, covering just about every sport. And as more sponsors sign up and are willing to back up this great venture, it's only going to get better and better, Kyle. And you've done a fantastic job along with your boss, of course, Stan Green, the former West High quarterback, standout.
Actually, he was a West High coach.
That's
he
right.
was actually from Redwood. I got to clear that up, in Visalia. So he would kill me if I didn't correct him. He was a BC national champion quarterback right there. So as well with Carl Bowser.
At the line, Shafter playing a lot of players here. And number 1, in and out, Jonathan Salmoran, 2 points on the season. Now he has 3.
Kern Valley, they're doing a good job passing out of this. They're doing a great job passing out of the press break. But as a coach, you got to tell your players, minimize the dribbling and play hot potato with the ball a little bit more and make good, sharp, crisp passes that aren't tipped, that you really work on really breaking that up.
Tito at the line, number 11, 5'11" junior. 4 rebounds a game. Doesn't score a whole lot, but makes 1 of 2 from the stripe. Here comes Shafter the other way off the missed free throw. 16-4. Shafter the advantage. 7:25 to go in the second quarter. So glad you could join us, Rick Hudgens, Kyle Wiley from Shafter High School, the first round of the Shafter Kiwanis tournament. Inside, errant pass into the hands of the Bronx. And Shafter kind of backing away, playing more of a half-court defense here.
Kern Valley Bronx, they are hanging around right now, and little shots here or there, taking it in there and going to the line. It's, it seems like Shafter is the lids on the bucket for them from three-point line that they seem to be reliant on, especially in this 2-3. And sometimes you just got to get back to the basics and pass your way into the middle, find those gaps in the middle against the zone so they can get easier buckets than just having to shoot threes, especially if they're not going down.
And Peter Morkey gets to the line but can't convert, so 0 for 2 from the line. 16-4 into the paint. Nice little drive.
That little one-hander right there.
Number 15, Jose Ortiz. He scored 2 points against Miramonte on Tuesday, and now a turnover for Kern Valley. So Shafter will get the ball back, and nearly wholesale substitutions. Dakota Smith, Aaron Grimsby checking back in, along with Anthony Barton, Micah Winsel. For Shafter, some players you may not be familiar with. Number 5, Antonio Gonzalez, as Shafter scores. Kern Valley trying to beat that press. They do. They get it across the stripe. Setting it up is number 32, Caden Preston. Pass down low.
Good move.
Yes, nice drop step, and then the rebound put back by number 20, Aaron Grimsby. So nice pass on the interior, and Grimsby there to pick up the missed shot. And now a turnover for Shafter, so Kern Valley will get it back, down 14, 20-6, 6 minutes to go. Stolen pass off the press, and putting it up and in is number 3, Aaron Bloss. Bloss averaging 1.5 points a game, so he's surpassed that with a bucket. Aaron Bloss, the senior.
It's nice when you're Shafter to do those wholesale substitutions that you talked about. Keeps them fresh. Hopefully Kern Valley can have that same type that goes on there, but it seems that Shafter's just a little bit deeper coming off the bench to allow some of their guys to get a breath and get set up at the three-point line where they like to be. So,
and a nice little drive and a runner scored by number 3, Aaron Bloss again. He's got 4. He says, Coach, just let me shoot more. I can score more than 1.5 points. Good hands there by number 2, Nathan Chacon.
And I like Bloss's approach right there, not settling for the 3, as we talked about. They haven't been hitting a whole lot of 3s, so you take the nice jump shot, that runner right there.
Here's Grimsby now, left-handed dribble, bounce pass, kick out. Preston. Tito, bad pass. And back the other way, Nate Mejia loses the handle, but that's because it was deflected away by Tanner Tito, so Shafter will keep it. Inbound. And setting it up, here's Nate Mejia. Back with it, Antonio Gonzalez for 3, and he drains it. Antonio Gonzalez, playing just his 4th game, the senior. Number 5 with the triple, 27-6. Pass cut by number 2, Nathan Chacon, and Shafter back the other way. Setting it up, Nate Mejia, swing it around. Chacon with a pass into Mike Vanderpool, getting some minutes tonight, and he gets tied up. It'll be Kern Valley's ball with 4:19 to go in the first half.
With this new attention to the 3-pointer, I think a lot of coaches, honestly, as the ball goes out of bounds, a Bronx turnover, a lot of coaches, as long as you play defense, shoot as many 3. I've seen that philosophy more the last few years. That's why you have so many 3s being shot at record pace at every level, from high school to college to NBA. It's like, as long as you play transition defense, get as many shots as you can. And it's like the home run in baseball. People love the 3-pointer.
Great putback by number 2, Nathan Chacon, the right man in the right place. And now Kern Valley with the turnover, 29-6, and timeout on the floor. Full timeout charge to Kern Valley.
Good call by Coach Christensen. Just settle them down just a little bit. And honestly, they're doing a pretty good job breaking that press. The number 1 press breaker is having a perennial point guard, and I don't see it out there with Kern Valley. But what they do a good job of is finding the spots, passing it, minimize those dribbling. Grimsby fires a rocket across the way. You just got to take his time a little bit, especially when you're down. You get frustrated, you start to press a little bit, and I think these players just need to take a deep breath, play within themselves. These are coachable moments right here. I know Coach Christensen, he may not be coaching for this game, but he's coaching for those league games, those valuable games against Bishop and Desert and California City and all those ones that go on there. So this is a very critical game as they're playing tougher talent, a next tier that they may not see in league play.
Yeah, that's definitely a great point there. California City, the closest opponent from Kern Valley, an hour and a half. Not to mention, the kind of terrain you have to travel through, the kind of weather you might be stuck with. Nice drive, left-handed shot. Won't go down for Michael Wenzel, but nice hustle play. Pulling up. 12-foot jumper off the mark. Rebound put back up.
Another rebound. Good hustle. Got to get up Kern Valley. They're definitely not giving up. Love it.
And Dakota Smith averaging 7 boards a game with that last rebound and attempted shot. 3:15 to go. Miguel Maldonado swing it around. Nate Mejia. That's going to be a 2-pointer. His foot was in the line. Inside the line. So Nate Mejia with his 2nd field goal of the game. 31-6 Shafter. Driving hard, Grimsby. Thought he was fouled there, no call. Pulling up, Michael Wenzel. That one won't go down. Put back by Dakota Smith. And Kern Valley right there. Great job offensive boards.
They got to get those putbacks. I tell you what, I think if his buckets start to fall, I like Michael Wenzel. He's got that little lefty a la Nick Van Exel, Chris Mullen type, that little quick release, and he's got some things in there. He's a little athletic kid that if he can start to see that fall, he's going to be a real asset for this Kern Valley Bronx team.
Yeah, Wenzel, the senior, final year, 7 points a game.
Good defense.
And tracking it down is Mejia, but it's an over and back. We're saying Kern Valley will get the ball back with 2:20.
And sometimes as a coach, you just got to, when you're down in a deficit, down by 25, stacked against you, you got to celebrate those small successes so you don't lose the team. And I think right now, he definitely hasn't lost this team because they're playing very tough right now.
Yeah, coming off a hard-fought 16-point loss, there's Wenzel with the 2-point J from the right elbow, 31-8. Shafter will set it up, pass into number 2, Nate Chacon. He's hit from behind. It's on the ground, so inbound for Shafter. 5 fouls in the contest for Shafter. 6 for Kern Valley, and the basket is good for the Generals. Generals a very deep team, Kyle. It's going to be interesting. You look at the SSL, you got to think Bakersfield Christian
in the mix.
Will be in the mix. Shafter, it's going to be an interesting SSL. We just saw Taft play previously against Foothill. Hard-fought loss there. All these teams in the preseason trying to get their bearings, getting ready for league play, which is coming up right after the break in early January, where the games come fast.
Just seems like yesterday we were doing our last broadcast for football, and I can't believe we're already talking about league play for basketball. Yeah. Pretty crazy to look at.
Nate Mejia with that last bucket. Nate Mejia with a half a dozen points tonight. Only had scored 3 points previously till tonight, the entire season. Loose ball, good hustle by Shafter. 35-8, we're under a minute to go before halftime. Here's Nate Mejia spinning. Kick out. Chacon back to Mejia, way off. Rebound. Nice block there by number 20, Grimsby. He'll push it the whole way, but he has it knocked away by Antonio Gonzalez, and now we'll see what the call is going to be here.
I think it's going to be on the ground, maybe a foul on Kern Valley. Going to set up a one-on-one situation for the Shafter Generals.
Yeah, seventh team foul for the Bronx. So 1-1 for number 5, Antonio Gonzalez, the senior.
Shafter, I can tell they're very well coached. They pass the ball well. They shoot. I can tell maybe they're just having an off night. I mean, they're in their home floor, so I think they're just trying to get those jitters out, maybe be a little overconfident against this Kern Valley team. But I think the one thing they're going to have to shore up when they get to league play are their presence and rebounding. They're giving a lot of offensive rebounds up to Kern Valley. So,
yeah, definitely. Here's Grimsby now, driving hard to the rim, throws it up, count the bucket and one. Wow. Aaron Grimsby looked like he was busting through the line there fighting for extra yardage. So Grimsby with a nice little scoop shot with the right hand, and he'll try to convert the old-fashioned three-point play. And does so. Nice three-point play for Aaron Grimsby, leader of this team. 35-11, Generals on top. Shafter just moving the ball around, looking for one shot, using some clock. Nice drive into the paint, right-hand runner, got it. Nice ball movement, and Tim Ramirez with the payoff with his 4th point. And chucking it the distance is number 15, Malike Moore. That one goes awry. So we've reached halftime, Kyle. 37-11, Shafter on top. Your thoughts?
Well, I definitely think that Shafter has kind of the the home court advantage a little bit. They are a little bit bigger, a little bit more athletic, a little bit deeper, I will also say, than the Kern Valley Broncs. And I'm impressed with the interior passing. They started to pick up a little bit. Definitely they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, but I think they do need to clean up those rebounds inside. They begin with a lot of rebounds. And a credit to Kern Valley, even though the score has kind of gotten a little out of hand, they've done a really nice job of maintaining their grit, maintaining their confidence, and I've just been impressed with them. So,
yeah, they certainly are playing hard.
Well, you know what we're going to do right here, Rick? Let's go and have a sponsor break right here for about 4 minutes.
Okay.
We'll be back on the Kern High Network after a moment.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at goarmy.com/team.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
As a millennial, for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do everything online or through an ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our low mortgage rates, including 60-day rate lock and no cost to you. Purchase or refinance your home today.
Kern Schools, together we have something special.
This is where we're going to train the kids to actually get jobs in the industry. We're going to give them the basic tools that they need, also the skills that they need to understand where they fit into the industry.
All the animated things, because we have everything that we need in the scenes.
They are learning the principles of animation, Photoshop. They're learning how to animate in 2D and 3D. And when you swap to that shape, then you're just going to drag these over here.
The storyboard aspect of creating basically the skeleton of the story, and then just sort of directing people in my vision of what I want in the story. And it's also giving me the advantage of Mr. Pollard, since he's worked at so many companies, being able to put it in my resume and be like, this is the art direction I've received.
We're learning a lot about how mobile apps are made, the programming and coding that goes into it, along with the time and effort. Along with that is also the entrepreneurship of the class, learning how to run our own business.
We're also learning basic marketing skills, people skills, graphic design, and social media marketing so that they can freelance, they can work on their own, they can apply for a job, they can go to BC or Cal State or any other university who offers programs that are specific within the mobile app development concentration or business concentration.
With my future and career, I do plan on being somewhat of an entrepreneur, owning my own business, sort of a clothing brand line. And so this will definitely help me out with possibly an app for my company, and the entrepreneur part helping me be able to run my business as smoothly as I can make it go.
We're learning the different roles, what a game designer is, what they do, and how video games are made, and how to deconstruct them.
We're also going to be teaching the hard skills, which includes learning the Unreal Engine. What the Unreal Engine is it's a game development tool that students will be able to use to make their very own video games. And this is something that actually industry professionals use every day to make some of the top-selling games. They're all the same size. You're all on the same plane. There's no undulating terrain or anything like that.
Our instructor, he's really amazing. He encourages everybody. He's really fun, and he makes learning fun.
So they've got top-of-the-line computers here, and they're set up to excel. I would be surprised if other students their age coming out of high school would have anywhere near the level of expertise that these guys are going to have.
Welcome back, everybody. Kyle Wiley here, Rick Hudgens. Excellent job on the play-by-play, my man. You did a great job.
Thanks, sir.
Your knowledge of the game is great. Of course, we can never forget K-Dub1 is what we call him. It's Kevin Willie. I'm K-Dub2, Kyle Wiley, to look at that. So we have it on there. I got to give an apology. I was just corrected by family members. Josh Mejia and Nate Mejia are related. They are brothers. Just a misspelling on the roster and Max Preps to look at. So we got to make sure that we correct that. I was advised that needs to be fixed on all our social media handles. I don't know if I'm going to retweet that same tweet that goes on there, but to the Mejia family, I do apologize. We like to have corrections on there.
Yes.
We are good as the Max Preps they provide us and the rosters that we give on there, but nonetheless, Kevin Willie, see the young man right there in the blue and gold sweater right in front of you, directly in front of you. I say young, but slightly elderly man right here in front. Just want to point out that's Gary Kern right there. He is Mr. Shafter. If you don't know, he used to be a counselor out here, and I'm going to tell you, for as long as the Kiwanis has been around, he's been at every Shafter Wasco football game, probably at every Kiwanis tournament to look at. Let's get back to the basketball game as we go on, but thank you, K-Dub1, for getting it on there, and you're on the play-by-play, my man.
And we're back underway. Kern Valley working left to right. Shafter pushing it right to left on the run and score the bucket for number 13, Nate Mejia. And Nate Mejia now with 8 points in the contest.
Nate Mejia related to Josh Mejia.
Yes.
I just want to reemphasize
the two
that.
brothers.
Yeah.
Number 13 and 12. A nice reverse lay-in for Grimsby. That's Aaron Grimsby's 7th point of the night. Leading scores for Kern Valley, Grimsby with 7, and number 11, Tanner Tito, with 4. Kern Valley 1 of 5 from the foul line. Shafter 5 of 6 from the foul line. Leading scorer is Nate Mejia with 8 points. 5 points for number 32, Daniel Baca. And number 4, Tim Ramirez, with 5 points as well. So Shafter's ball underneath the basket, 6:57 to go. Into the corner, driving in, just inside the left elbow. Can't get it to fall. Is number 1, Jonathan Salmeron, and now the turnover. Here comes Grimsby. Kern Valley trying to get things set up. Clad in their navy blue and gold. Shafter in their home whites with navy blue and gold as well. Off the mark, rebound put back up and in by number 34, Anthony Barton. So Anthony Barton's first 2 of the night.
See, and Kern Valley had a lot of opportunities in the first half. They just got to convert on those.
Nate Mejia's shot is off the mark and goes out of bounds. It will be Kern Valley's ball. So Shafter starting the second half here with number 1, Jonathan Salmeron, number 13, Nate Mejia, number 30, Mike Vanderpool, number 3, Aaron Bloss, and driving hard to the bucket and drawing the contact is number 20, Aaron Grimsby. He will head to the line looking for 2 more points, working on a 7-point evening thus far.
I like Grimsby's game. He's just he's me. And I'm going to say that, and I say that. He's a football player playing basketball, but he's so tough, and he's smart with the ball. He's athletic. He's getting in there and doing those things, and I just really – he's got me on the athletic part and all that other stuff in there, but he's definitely just a tough kid that kind of wants to play that dirty work basketball.
Yeah, Grimsby, 2 of 3 from the line tonight, and now 3 of 4. So Grimsby with 9 points, and Kern Valley is down 41-17. Working hard. We'd like to thank our KHSD sponsors, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, United States Army, PAV Solar and Communication, Premier Lighting, Tony's Pizza, and Raymond's Trophies. We so appreciate the sponsorship. Everything you do for these student athletes. And a 3-ball knocked down by number 11, Miguel Maldonado.
And Maldonado, you talked about him at the beginning of the broadcast. He is a deadly sniper shooter for the Generals. So
it's 3 for Maldonado. Here's Grimsby now. Get things set up. 32, Caden Preston. Same starting 5 off the mark. Anthony Barton tracks it down, drives baseline into the paint to Dakota Smith, and a foul is committed by Shafter. And it looks like he'll head to the line to shoot a pair. No, it's on the ground. I thought it was on the ground. But Dakota Smith tried to sell that when he went to the foul line.
You know, you got to give it up to Kern Valley. There's a lot they can build on, a lot of positive that you can look at this. They're hustling, they're rebounding, and if they could do that against maybe a little bit lesser competition when they get into league play, they can do some things. Love
3
it.
ball. Beautiful touch by number 25, Micah Wenzel. And that's Wenzel's first points of the night.
There's nothing prettier than a lefty three-pointer shot right there, is there?
I agree with you. That one off the mark by Miguel Maldonado, and here comes Kern Valley just down 24, 44-20 is the deficit. Drive and kick. Back out, putting it up, and won't go down for number 32, Caden Preston. Here comes Shafter back the other way. Set things up. Nate Mejia cut through, didn't get it. Kick out 3, and that's going to go off the bank and in for number 3.
That's got to be tough for Kern Valley because you play great defense, and a bank 3 goes in there.
7 points now for Aaron Bloss. His first triple of the night. Trying to get his Wenzel from deep. That one is off the lip, and ball knocked out of bounds. It will be Kern Valley's ball. Shafter will make a couple of changes. Number 15, Jose Ortiz, will check into the game, as well as number 2, Nate Chacon. 3 on the way, Wenzel, and he dials it up again. Micah Wenzel from deep in the canyon.
Have I told you I like those lefty threes right there? I just absolutely.
I agree with you, and he's got a pretty shot. And if he can consistently knock that down, he is going to be a major threat. 3 on the way, won't fall for number 4. Tim Ramirez, who's checked back in. Here's Wenzel. Swing it around. Now Grimsby has it. Still time to shoot. Nice drive by Grimsby, and he's in double figures with 11 points.
Grimsby's got that athleticism that he's just able to do kind of some things right, and Wenzel's playing very tough defensively as well up on the perimeter, but looked like a carry right there.
Another 3-point attempt. No good. Rebound stick back for number 4. Hanging around the boards, Tim Ramirez with the easy deuce and heading the line to attempt a 3-point play. Some Kern Valley substitutions, or just one. Number 22 will check into the contest. That's Thomas Schrody, a guy that you
I believe Tanner Tito just came in.
Yes.
Tanner Tito just came in as well to kind of give him a breather. So very curious to see, Wenzel. I'm trying to see he's got to have a heat check right here. All good shooters have that, but
off the turnover, here comes Shafter down the lane. Missing it is number 15, Ortiz, Jose Ortiz.
I tell you, I like Schrody. He's around the glass all the time. His hands on the ball, whether it's a rebound or not, he's around trying to hustle on the glass.
Great steal by number 5, and taking it the distance but missing the bunny is Antonio Gonzalez with a get it back.
We've seen sometimes Grimsby tries to press a little bit too hard, and we've seen 2 rocket passes that have turned into turnovers. He's got to take care of the ball a little bit better.
Pulling up in the paint, missing it is Grimsby. Minute 35 to go in the third quarter. 52-25 is the lead for the Shafter Generals.
And the one thing, one of my big pet peeves, two things, is missed free throws drive me nuts. Absolutely crazy to look on there. High school seems to not – it doesn't matter where you're at. I've been in a wide variety of games, and free throws drive me crazy. And the one-handed passes, there's only one guy in the history of the game, maybe two. I'll give Pistol Pete, Magic Johnson the getaway with the one-handed passes, but you're talking about the greatest passers of all time, and these one-handed passes don't work. I'm just saying that. Unless you're an elite point guard, they just don't work yet. You know, you see the Steph Currys and you see the best of the best and the Kyrie Irvings and all this. I mean, they're getting paid millions of dollars, and then they're the best in the world, and these kids get out here. Just work on the fundamental two-hand passes, fakes, and all that stuff too as well.
Nate Chacon at the line. He's got 5 points tonight. That is a season high for him. Missed the second one, but the rebound corralled by Tim Ramirez. And now long two-pointer off the mark. Put back is no good by Jose Ortiz. And Kern Valley the other way with 1:10 to go in the third. 53-25. Shafter with the lead. Here's Wenzel into the paint. Count it and one. What a beautiful drive and nice lefty finish for Michael Wenzel. That's his 8th point as he looks for double digits.
You know, the scoreboard operators may have a little trouble with that accurate score. It should be 51 or 52, so we're just kind of reflecting that on the broadcast right now. So if you've seen a little mismanagement of some things, that's why.
And Wenzel's free throw won't go down, but he does have 8 points now. And they've all come here in the third quarter, so a great third quarter for Wenzel. And now the foul is committed by number 15, Maliki Moore.
You know, sometimes you need that half to gather yourself, collect your thoughts. I think Kern Valley's come out and played a great third quarter and learned a lot from this. Of course, Shafter's also played a pretty good third quarter themselves. They've hit a few threes and have made some tough buckets, but you got to be impressed with both teams coming out with the adjustments, especially Wenzel. And I love the lefties because I'm a lefty myself. I grew up idolizing guys like Chris Mullen and, you know, Steve Young in football. Love all of that stuff. So.
Shafter will set it up. Miguel Maldonado, he wants it. This time the ball fake, kick out. Chacon for three, and that went off the hill and into the hands of number 22, Schrody, pushing it. Wenzel, step through, and he scores it. Michael Wenzel beats the buzzer. 10 third quarter points to lead all scorers.
What a great half. I mean, what a great quarter he had to really cut into this. And you just see there's a level of confidence that he has right now, which is pretty impressive to look at as we get into this fourth quarter. I mean, they could cut into this and make this a respectable game. And if you're Coach Christensen, you really got to be happy. And, you know, let's make a little plug for our administrations at our respective schools. I know you have some. Let's talk about Shafter and Kern Valley administrations that support what we're doing.
Yeah, we acknowledge the principal of Shafter, Mr. Russ Shipley, assistant principal of instruction, Mary Beth Beedling, assistant principal of administration, Dave Boyd, and the athletic director, Brian Feaster.
Who's also the activities director and has done a lot to help get this awesome setup that we have right here. Tons of space.
Yes, and we appreciate it. What a setup. And for Kern Valley, principal Mr. John Meyer, assistant principal of instruction and administration, Gavin Bell. Athletic director is Mike Ginthner, and the activity director, Brent Mixon. Thank you, men and women, for everything you do for these student athletes and for taking care of us as well. We appreciate it here at the Kern High Network.
I think they're going the wrong way. Do they know which way they're going? I thought it flipped, but I guess they're going to keep going where they're going to go.
Good, strong defense on the interior, but Shafter gets it back out the loose ball, and now a foul
We got a jump ball over here. See that? But I think it should be reversed. I think Kern Valley needs to be going to the left and Shafter needs to be going to the right. But, hey, it's tournament season right now. We iron out all those kinks.
Yes.
As officials, as players, as all of that. We try to get it out of our system.
Yeah, that's what the preseason's all about. Trying to find your identity. This Kern Valley team, of course, trying to find its identity, trying to gel. Shafter knows they have, something. They have a lot of potential, something special here. Like you said, if they can clean it up on the boards.
Yep.
But they've got some tough players on the interior too. And scoring the bucket there is number 15, Jose Ortiz. His 6th point of the night. 53-31 is the deficit for Kern Valley. 6:53 to go in the 4th quarter.
Nice little high-low offense right there, and I know you're going to say nice cut right there by Kern Valley and a nice look, but a full timeout goes on there. But great little setup. I like Kern Valley's game. They're definitely not giving up. They're trying some things out. They try to find some answers against this Shafter team.
And Brian Christensen back for his first year. He has 99 wins under his belt as a head coach.
Yeah.
Coached from 1999 to 2015. Then his assistant Kyle Dooley took over for the last 2 years. And now Kyle Dooley back on the bench for head coach Brian Christensen. We'd like to thank our Kern High School District Superintendent Dr. Brian Schaefer, Assistant Superintendent of Instruction Dr. Brenda Lewis, Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services and Innovative Programs Dr. Dean McGee, and Director of School Support Services Stan Green.
Just talking to Stan the other day when the Kern High Network really launched was last year against, I think it was Frontier against Cabrillo, and they're setting up for a football game, and Kevin Willey could probably back this up. They didn't know if it was going to work. They just tried it out, and the next thing you know, it worked. First time Kevin, I think, met Stan was at that game, so it was just where it started there, where we're at now, and we've really picked up some good steam. It's been a great thing. So,
yeah, I know you do a tremendous amount of work. Hard to get a hold of you during the day.
Yeah, it's a little tough sometimes.
Yeah. Of course, I'm teaching most of the time, so I'm only doing it on my a few minutes when the kids are working in a group.
Good cover right there. I really like that. So,
off the mark on the free throw, 53-31. So Kern Valley with an empty trip from the foul line that time. Driving baseline, nice little drive there by Jonathan Salmeron, and he's trying to show head coach Jeff Waldrop that he wants a little more PT. He'll inbound the ball. In the corner, that one well off the mark. And coming down with it, that's just a tough break for.
You love it, and it drives you crazy at the same time. You love that two guys are hustling to get those rebounds, but, as much as anything in sports, the biggest thing is communication, and how you work on all that stuff, too, as well, is huge.
Nice little drive to the hoop and a right-handed runner for number 33. Erik Caballero. And for Caballero, that's his 4th point. He looks for point number 5. Caballero, the senior, averaging 2.6 points a game. But on the glass, he averages 1.1 offensive rebounds. And as you mentioned, Kyle, he's someone who they're really going to be depending upon as they move into league to clean up the glass as he converts the 3-point play. So 5 for Erik Caballero. 56-31 is the lead for the Generals. Short with that shot for Kern Valley is Morkey, and now the kick out, and number 32, Caden Preston, dials up from long distance. He's just a freshman.
Nice little release right there, and he, with confidence.
6 points per game average. And that's his first points of the night. Nice drive to the hoop and the harm. Number 1, Jonathan Salmeron. Going to the line to attempt the three-point play and looking for his 4th point. Couple of substitutions for the Bronx. Number 34, Anthony Barton returns.
And I got to say this for Mr. Preston, number 32, Caden Preston of Kern Valley. Man, stepping up, big shot right there. You got a few more years with that, and he's a good-sized kid right there to look at that for this Kern Valley team. So this is valuable experience for some of your younger guys right here.
Just 5'9", 140, and nice left-hand dribble, draws the contact with a block. Kern Valley will have side out. But, yeah, I mean, 5'9", 140, he still has a lot of time to grow.
Absolutely. And for a lot of these Kern Valley.
Errant pass, but missing with the layup, and then the putback by Sal Moran, and he's going to get called for an offensive foul with a little push-off with his elbow.
You know, for a lot of these Kern Valley kids, playing multiple sports is a given to look at that. And so they got to fill in all these athletic things. So a lot of these kids are playing probably 3 sports. If I'm going to be honest with you, all of them probably playing baseball, track, something like that as well. So.
Yeah, just under around 400 kids at the high school. It's not a ton to draw from. There's a drive, nice cut to the hoop, and nice feed there from Salmoron to number 33, Erik Caballero. Caballero with 7 now in the game. 4:48 to go in the 4th quarter, opening round. Shafter Kiwanis tournament, nice drive by Wenzel, but he couldn't corral the pass, and now fighting for it on the ground and coming up with it is Caballero, and Shafter the other way with a 60-34 lead. Caballero called for steps that time, and Kern Valley will get it back.
And I like, you know, tournaments are key because you're starting to see what players can really help you in league as you gear up. So you're probably going to sub a little bit more, get some of those guys some playing time at the end of the bench because you're trying to find what guys can help you in the long run, because usually it's about an 8 or 9 man rotation. And if you can find that 10th, 11th spark plug in there, that's just the catalyst that can push you to that league title sometimes. So we've covered Centennial this week, man. They're about 12 deep. I mean, looking at it, there are mass rotations going in.
Yeah, and you look back at those old Clovis West teams. And a 3-pointer on the way for Nate Mejia. Have a game, Nate Mejia. That's his 9th point of the game. Turn around. Nice bank off the window. Anthony Barton. Anthony Barton with his 4th point of the night. Kern Valley fighting hard, but you look back at those Clovis West teams, and my goodness, they would run at least 10, 12, sometimes more than that, and just keep the constant pressure up. And
good teams are able to be deep and bring in multiple guys, and it's a trust factor. It's a trust factor with the coach to player, player to coach, player to player, to have all your guys you can get in there and sacrifice of self to be able to have that in there. Because I'm sure every kid wants to be on the floor as much as they can, but when you run those rotations, it just makes your team better and deeper.
Great luxury to have. I mean, everybody's got to be on their toes. You got to be ready when your chance comes. You may only play 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, but make the best of it. Help your team in whatever way you can. And now we've got a 3-second violation. That's the first 3-second violation I think we've had tonight.
I got to say this, Rick, this is the last game of 2017, last live stream broadcast we're going to have. It's been a great year where we started. You know, we started really with our growth. We really saw, you know, when I first came on was with basketball, and what a season last year. You had McCall and Roberts at Ridgeview, and Independence with Kevin Larson and Dustin Henderson. And we saw what Liberty, a young Liberty team with Isaiah Hill, and who they bring to the table. And then you had BHS with Taj Wright and some of the talent, and Jeremy Stapp, and see those guys come back. And where we've seen, even the girls' game, we have Kalasia Dean at Independence High School and Taylor Caldwell at BHS. A lot of top talent that we've been able to see and continue to see as we get going through this year. Exciting.
It is. It's going to be really exciting this year. Drive to the hoop, right-handed miss by Nate Mejia.
Mejia is a solid player for the Generals. He's done a really good. And remember, Mejia and his brother, Josh Mejia, I mean, you look at Nate Mejia and Josh Mejia, got to make sure that we remind the audience that they are indeed related.
Yes, double trouble. Wonder Twin powers. We haven't seen them much on the floor together.
Yeah.
3 ball on the way, off the mark. And the rebound claimed by Jose Ortiz. Ortiz now with the 6th rebound of the game. Back out, Nate Mejia swinging around. Ortiz, nice defensive play. The block shot out of bounds by Thomas Schrody. It'll be Shafter's ball with 1:49.
You know, Nate Mejia has had a solid game. I mean, potential Tony's Pizza Player of the Game type game that we have right here, because we still got to select that after this game is done as he puts up the 3. But he's had a really solid game for these Generals, kind of directing traffic, doing all of that.
Yeah, and got the start in the second half. Had just only scored 3 points prior to tonight, and tonight really bringing it with 9 points. He's also dished out 4 dimes. 3 on the way for number 21, Morkey. That one off the heel, and here comes Shafter the other way. 63-37. That's going to be a block.
Big collision right there between Nate Mejia and number 34, Anthony Barton. And Anthony Barton was indeed a football player. Remember calling that name, but I like that kind of transition right there. You can see he definitely has some skill, just a junior and all that stuff. If he can be that spark plug for the Shafter Generals, that could be huge going into league play. We talked about it earlier in the broadcast. The really great teams, it is a point guard driven game now. Really is. It's not the old school throw it to your 7-footer underneath and do the sky hook. It'd be nice to have that, but it's very much a point guard heavy game that we're playing now.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of those 7-footers in the Kern High School District or even in the Central Valley. So
yeah,
for that matter. But
San Joaquin Memorial, you got to watch that. They got some big dudes that can throw it down right there. They've been playing pretty well this year. I think they're going to be a D2 powerhouse this year to look at. So
number 21, Morkey, driving, draws the foul. 64-37, Nate Mejia takes a seat with 9 points tonight to go along with 4 dimes. He also has 3 steals. And missing the free throw is Morkey. So Shafter now has this one in the bag. Head coach Jeff Waltrip has played all his players. I mean, when you're playing a tournament, you're playing a game a day. It's tough. And so really smart to continue to play these players. Coach Christensen's players have played hard. He's gotten a chance to look at most of his players tonight.
And I think they got to walk away actually being okay with this. I mean, of course, we all want to win. We all got to look at it, but there's got to be positives that come out of that. And the way that first quarter, I could tell, hopefully he was thinking, not hopefully he was thinking, he's probably thinking this is going to be a long game that's going on right here. And
Mike Vanderpool 1-2 from the line. He's got 3 points tonight. He earned some more PT tonight. Remember watching Mike Vanderpool, very solid player at the junior varsity level last year.
Yeah.
Near steal there. Shafter has it, 32. Are you going to call a travel or are you going to call a blocking foul? I think it's going to be a blocking foul. No, it's going to be a travel.
You got to have Schrody is a man after my own heart. He loves the contact. He's just a tough kid that you got to have on there. And
well, Shafter right in the thick of it in D3 this year. Some other teams playing well, but Kern Valley, once again, High Desert League D4 now. Lost a heartbreaker not too long ago to Woodlake, 57-56, the Corcoran tournament. They played some tough teams. They played a tough Selma team. Shafter played a tough Ridgeview team this year and only lost by 6 points. So they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. As we come down to the end, three-pointer on the way, partially blocked, and that will do it. Opening round of the Kiwanis tournament, Shafter Kiwanis tournament, the host, the Shafter Generals 65, the visiting Kern Valley Bronx 37. But the score, Shafter played a lot of guys, a lot of scores. Kern Valley played a very gritty, hard-fought game, but both teams really getting after it, and we saw a lot of hustle tonight as well, Kyle.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I'm Shafter, I'm happy. They still have to clean some things up. They can go back and watch the tape. They can watch it. I'm going to give my little plug, Kern High Network. We archive all our games there. They can take a look at that. If I'm Shafter, I'm happy, but I think two things that they predicate themselves on. Number one, three-pointers, they were inconsistent. We saw coming in tonight we were going to have high-flying, high threes, all that stuff too as well. A little bit inconsistent on that. And as we talked about throughout the course of this broadcast, they really got to clean up around the glass and do some of those things and be committed to that. I know that if my basketball coach watched our team go out there as well, we'd have box-out drills the very next day to really clean some of that stuff up. If I'm Kern Valley, it's a tough loss to look at. They were outmatched, outsized. The depth and all that stuff added up, but man, you got Wenzel, you got Grimsby, you got some guys that are in there that can definitely do some things. It's a very exciting game. I see Kevin Willie just reading to. We all have this. I'm going to say this: 33% of the vote for the Tony's Pizza Player of the Game goes to Kevin Willie. 33% go to me, and you get 34% because you are the expert in the field of all of that, and your 1% weighs heavily. It's not a Vance Palm 1% where it seems to just carry everything through there, but we'll take a look at that. Kevin, who do you have for your Tony's Pizza Player of the Game tonight?
This is another hard one. I really like the way, like as you were saying, that Kern Valley played.
Yeah.
I think if they had played the first, even the second quarter, like they played that second half, it'd have been a much closer game.
Yeah.
I really liked the way Grimsby played.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably gonna. I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up here. Salamoran.
Okay.
Salamoran, I think I liked.
You think this? Look at the decisiveness right there. You think you liked it? Yeah. Yeah.
And Mejia, Nate Mejia.
Yeah.
Those are.
If we were doing a Tony's Pizza Player of the Quarter, Wenzel in the third quarter going nuts for 10 points, and he's a lefty, and they're near and dear to my heart. But I'm going to kind of echo what Kevin Willie said. I think there's a lot of players that scored. You got Caballero, I think, underneath that had some points and tough buckets and was adding up. But Nate Mejia just seemed to be there and kind of run the show and get things going when Shafter needed something. So he is my vote for the Tony's Pizza Player of the Game. What about you, sir?
Yeah, you know what? When I look at it, I mean, a great third quarter. Wenzel waited and scored 10 points there in the third quarter. But scrappy performance. But what I liked about Shafter tonight is their top two players, Josh Mejia and Jose Maldonado, who is one of the top three-point shooters in Division III, was just off tonight. He only had 3 points the entire game, and Josh Mejia went scoreless, and yet all these other players contributed. They were ready for their opportunity, and Josh Mejia, I'm sure he's happy because I go with his brother as well. Nate Mejia, 9 points, 4 dimes, 3 steals, an all-around solid effort, even started the second half and had come into the game, had only scored 3 points the entire season. Just played an all-around solid game tonight and ran the show for a very deep Shafter team.
Absolutely. Well, I think this is going to be the end of our broadcast. They're putting the chairs up. They turned off the scoreboard. I think the lights are going to come off in just a second. My man, Rick Hudgens, you did a great job tonight. I appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure. Kevin Willie, you're awesome. Miguel Garcia, taking the photos behind the scenes work to look at. This is Kyle Wiley. We're live on the Kern High Network, kernhighnetwork.com. We'll be back in 2018. It seems like a long time ago, on our first game of the new year. Exciting girls basketball game. We have Independence Falcons and the BHS Drillers in a rematch of last year's Division II Valley Championship game. Excited to see the two best girls in town, bar none, Kalasia Dean and Taylor Caldwell. It'll be a great game. Vance Palm will be on that broadcast. Pay attention to Rich Hudgens as he's going to do some basketball, a lot of soccer for us as we get going. Have a good night. This is round one of the Shafter Kiwanis varsity boys basketball game. We'll see you in 2018.